Welcome to Sam's Russian Adventures. I'm an English guy living in provincial Russia in the city of Vladimir, and today I'm going to be walking around and talking about what is Russia going to be like once we have peace and the sanctions are lifted. But firstly, my friend Dima has come out of hospital. He's had an operation on his leg. It's been a big operation, okay? He's got really bad pains in the joint where it connects to the knee. And so he's been there for a while and he's going to be housebound for an awful long time. So I come to the market, I'm going to go get him some caviar, some fish, and some different gifts that I can take around in like a hamper to just show him that I care and hope that he's going to get better. So this is the market, and they always have, well, they hate it when someone films in here. They absolutely hate it. But I've got a way around that, and I'm going to show you in a video soon how I'm getting around this whole filming thing. Check out all the honey for sale. That's pretty cool. So I always get loads of evils when I'm walking through here. Loads of evils. They're looking at me like, what are you doing here, you bad person? So what shall I get for him? What shall I get for my friend Dimitri? So we've got quite a cool selection here, and I don't really know what to get. So I'll just quickly show you the selection in here because it's pretty incredible. Look how much stuff they've got. The thing that I like about this place is the people are just so friendly there. I mean, the rest of the market is just kind of like a typical market, right? So the way they kind of look at you is a bit weird, like why you're here, but they want you to film, they want you to vlog about their place, and so they behave completely different with you. So as Dima's just come out of hospital, I thought he's going to want healthy food, right? So I've been going around buying all these different healthy foods, and then I thought, well, let me call him first. You know, he might have gone out somewhere or something, right? So I called him and said, do you want anything from the shop? He said, yeah, get me a cake. Let's have a look at some of the cars here, because everyone expects all the cars to be crap in Russia, so you can have a mixture. Look, this is what it's like. I've got a mixture of all different cars. Some cool, some cooler than others, some completely Russian, but that's sick. I like that. What do you think of it? So here we go. Which one shall I get? So I've arrived at my friend's house, but I think we've got an hour until it's dark, till the sun's completely set. So I may as well have a bit of a walk, get some more steps in, and yeah, talk about the topic of today's video. So I almost bought a house here. I was thinking about purchasing this house when it was being built, but I'm glad I didn't, because you don't want to live next door to your mates, do you? Because you'll end up falling out. I know the guy that lives here as well, and so it'd be a bit, yeah, I'm glad that I live in the place where, well, I'm going to be moving to. So what will Russia look like if peace in Ukraine is made and sanctions are lifted? What's it going to be like? It's going to be interesting, because all those companies that left Russia because, well, they decided and they made statements saying that we're against the Ukraine war and therefore we want to leave Russia. Should they be allowed to come back? Should McDonald's come back, and Coca-Cola and all of these big companies that left Russia and said, we're against war, we're totally against that, and we are leaving Russia because of that? Because at the end of the day, they're not against American wars, right? When America, or US and the UK, invaded Iraq, these companies didn't all leave the US, did they? They didn't leave the UK. They didn't say, oh, you know, we're against you invading Iraq, so we're going to leave. That didn't happen. They didn't leave the UK and the US when they invaded Afghanistan. Nor did they care when the Libyan president was, well, taken down. So obviously they all came out and said that they're against wars, but they're not against wars. They're just against wars if Russia's involved. That's what it comes down to. These dogs, it must be crazy to live when next door to one of these dogs, right? Just like it'd just be insane. I mean, that is crazy loud. And it's such a nice place, such a nice peaceful place, but I mean, that is just crazy. I wonder how long he's going to keep on barking for. The way I personally look at those companies that pulled out of Russia is they're hypocrites. And so therefore, I think some of them shouldn't be allowed to come back to Russia. It's going to be interesting as to what actually happens, because the Russian economy has done pretty well considering that the amount of sanctions that it's been under and the amount of companies that have left. I think the Russian government has done a really good job at stemming the problem. So I wanted to go up this road, but we've got another crazy dog. It's insane. Can they just smell me from miles away? Is that what it is? This house here has still got its Christmas decorations up. Have you still got your decorations up? We're like reaching the end of February now. It should be about time to take them down, or maybe they just leave them up all year round, right? I suppose if you've had them up for that long, why take them down? This is a nice house, isn't it? Look at this for a driveway, and it is just a driveway. Ha! I wonder what the house is like. So there's a lot going on here. This guy is advertising that he can add these stereo equipment and video equipment to the car. They're selling chicken eggs as well. I wonder what will happen with all the foreigners that left Russia. Will they all return now? There's a lot of YouTubers that left Russia because when Google took away monetization, they were unable to make money if they stayed in Russia, so they left Russia and they made a lot of videos about how much they hate Russia. So will they now return? It's going to be interesting. There's also a lot of foreign people that lived in Russia and worked in Russia, but then suddenly, a week into the full-scale conflict, they got other jobs and had to leave. And they apologized and said, you know, I love Russia, but I just got another job. I wonder if they'll get another job now back in Russia again. It's weird how many people left Russia that got scared. They left Russia, they made excuses, and they quit the country. I wonder if all these people are now going to start moving back again. Tell me, what are your opinions about this? Do you think that if a company is against war, they should be against all wars, and therefore they should leave any country that's involved in a war? Or should they just pick and choose? A lot of these companies that left Russia, they lost a lot of money when they did so, but they were prepared to be political and take sides and to leave Russia. So if you were the Russian president, would you allow those companies now to come back again? What decision would you make? It's an interesting one, and the reason it's interesting is because, to start with, Russians and Russia itself was probably pretty scared that all these companies were leaving. But then Russian companies filled the gap. They created products and companies and brands in place of the other ones that left because of their, well, views on war all of a sudden. Wow, back with the dogs again. Always building in Russia. Construction always going on. I was here about 9 months ago and none of this was here. It's all brand new. We've had a very mild winter and so all of this has been built in the last 9 months. This has more of an American and English feel to it, doesn't it? Because of all the houses being the same style, same bricks. And there's another street parallel to this one, as you can see, that backs onto these houses over there. Perhaps I can find out about these houses, who the company is that's building them, and see if we can get a bit of a tour. One of those "could you live here" videos. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that video. Another thing that will be interesting is how the Russian consumers choose to stick with the Russian brands that have been created in the place of the foreign brands and companies that have left, or whether they just go back to purchasing the products made by the foreign companies that left 3 years ago. It'll be interesting, right? How would McDonald's compare to Vkusnaya Tochka? Would somebody prefer to go to McDonald's, or would they stick with Vkusnaya Tochka? Or, for example, Coca-Cola, right? Now, you can buy Coca-Cola in Russia anyway, but if Coca-Cola actually come back and it's for sale everywhere, will people buy Coca-Cola, or will they buy Dobre Cola? It's essentially the exact same thing. And another thing that's interesting is that the Russian brands actually set up shop in a lot of the factories that were used by the foreign brands when they left. So if the foreign brands decide to come back again, will they take the place of the factories that that are now being used by the Russian brands? Interesting. How will they go about, deciding if should the Russian brand cease to exist when the foreign company comes back again? Interesting, right? That's a really... almost fell over. I forgot that it was still winter and slippy. What do you think? Would you like to live here? I wonder if they're going to have fences in between the houses. In fact, I can see some bars here. Looks like this person wants to put up a fence anyway. That house is absolutely massive. It's crazy massive. Wow. Look at that night sky. Amazing. So look, here's the house and here's what it's going to look like afterwards when it's done. Still being built. So we're on the home straight, we're back onto Dima's road. A little, maybe 500-meter walk, and we'll be at Dima's house and we'll give him the gifts that I bought today. And obviously I'll show you them as well. Look at that icicle there, look. Ah, the beautiful sun. Soon it'll be summer and it'll be perfect. Okay, so this is what we've got. I bought this basket with this, got this paper inside it. I've got this amazing smoked fish. I forgot what the name is, but it's Dima's favourite. We've got some caviar. We've got some finicky, what are they called in English? Let me know, I've forgotten the word. Then we've got a croissant with custard inside. We've got chocolate pancake cake, and we've got some king prawns. So Dima's not answering the phone, and his dog is crazy. But it looks like he's locked up, so I'm just going to risk it. Oh, I hope anyway. And so here he is. Alisa, подключи песни The Lost Boys, Lex, Coops, Beamers and Benz.
Включай Lost Boys, песня Джипс, Lexus, Beamers and Benz. Осторожно, детям лучше этого не слышать.
MCA, this is how we roll. Me and fake it out, my man, big nice.